All right, welcome back. This is part 2 of lesson 12.5. So for number 6, we have a 20th power outside of this parentheses. Okay, so we apply that power. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see. So what it means is I'm going to distribute. Well, before I distribute the power, notice that I know this is hard to notice, but this is a negative power. So I'm going to bring this to the numerator. So I'm going to rewrite this as x to the 2/5 power. Okay. And then let's see what else. And then I'm going to bring that y to the numerator also and make that power positive because it's negative in the denominator. And then I'm going to apply the 20th power. So I'm going to distribute this power to what's inside of the parentheses. So then this gives me, let's see, so this gives me what? X to the 20 times 2 is 40. 40 divided by 5 is, what? No, let me just write it down, 40 over 5, okay? So that's this one. And then y, so times y, 20 times 3 is 60, so 60 over 10. And then simplify. So 40 divided by 5 is 8, so this becomes x to the 8th power. And 60 divided by 10 is 6, so this becomes y to the 6th. So this is the answer to that problem. All right, next one. Number 7, notice that this power is negative, and notice that this one is also negative. Okay, so this is negative 1/2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the y to the 3rd, to the numerator. So we have y to the 5th times, let's see, y to the 3rd. And then we have a negative 1/2 power outside of that parentheses. So when you combine, when you apply the that property of exponents, that says that when you multiply the bases, the same bases, you add the powers, right? So then this is equal to y to the 8th. So that, because that's 5 plus 3. And then we have negative 1/2 as a power to distribute still. So then this is equal to, I'm going to make this positive, this 1/2 positive, so this is y to the 8th in the denominator, and then distribute the 1/2 power. Okay, so notice that 1/2 power now became positive. And then take 1/2 of 8. So 1/2 of 8 is 4, so this is 1 over y to the 4th, and this is the simplest form for the answer of this problem, to this problem. Okay, number 8, again, we have a negative power. So what I am going to notice here is that I'm going to distribute that power right away. Okay, so this is equal to, this implies to be 1, so y to the negative 1/2 power. And then let's see what else. So for this one, I'm going to say that this is x to the negative, this is 3. So when you multiply 3 times negative 1/2, it's x to the 3/2 power, right? And it's negative because that 1/2 is negative. So then I'm going to rewrite this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch them. This has a negative power. I'm going to bring that to the denominator to make it positive. And I'm going to bring this one to the numerator to make it positive. Okay. So then this is equal to, we have x to the 3/2 power over y to the 1/2 power. Right? Okay, so then x to the 3/2 power, that means this is the square root. So I'm going to write that down here. So this is the square root of x to the 3rd over square root of y. Again, we need to be able to take one out. So this is x times the square root of x over, and I'm going to, let's see, let's leave it like that for now. Okay, square root of y. Since we cannot have a radical in the denominator, then let's multiply by another square root of y, so we get y to the 2nd, and when we take the square root of y to the 2nd, that gives us y to the 1st, right? So then this is x square root of multiply x times y, so xy, and then this gives us a y by itself, because it's y times y, that's y squared. The square root of y squared is y, therefore this is our final answer for that problem. Okay, so this one can be kind of tricky if you don't keep track of your steps. All right, number 9. So for this one, this power applies to the numerator, both numerator and denominator. So I'm going to, let's say, I'm going to distribute. Let me simplify first. So do 12 and 75 have a factor in common? I hope you see it. The factor is 4. Not 4, 3, because 3 goes into 12 4 times, right? So this becomes a 4, and 3 goes into 75 25 times, right? So this becomes a 25. So then what's going to happen is I'm going to distribute this 1/2 to the 4th, 4 to the 1st. So this becomes 4 to the half power. And then this is x to the 8th. But you take half of 8, which is x to the 4th. And then denominator, let's see for this one next. So this is the 10th. You take half of it. So then this is 25 y to the 5th, which is half of 10. I hope you follow this so far. I forgot this 25 also has a half power. Let me give myself more space because of that half power. So I still have to take the square root of 25. So it's 25 to the half power. Then I'm going to simplify. Because this 4 has a half power, that means it's the square root of 4. And then we have x to the 4th here. Denominator is the square root of 25, y to the 5th. Okay, so then this is equal to square root of 4 is 2, so 2x to the 4th. Denominator is square root of 25 is 5, so 5y to the 5th, and this is as simple as we can get with this problem. Okay, applying the properties of exponents. Last example. What if you have negative 8, and that's the cube root of negative 8, because this is the index is 3, so this is the same as the cube root of negative 8. And we've done this in class before, you might not remember. This is the same as the cube root of negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Since we have 3 2's, we can take a 2 out. So then the cube root of negative 8 is negative 2. And that's the answer to this one. So I hope that makes sense. Don't forget, you can always ask questions to the classroom. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.